He's still not here. Hey, you over there, have you seen Fornius? No. Well, of course a dork like you wouldn't know. Now, where the hell is Fornius? Ugh. Anyway, welcome back to part 13 of Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne, where today we're on our second major detour as the second floor of the Labyrinth of Amala is now available to us. As I mentioned on our first visit, the deeper you get in here, the less humanity you have and the more demonic you become. Your first sign of that is this specific demon who is concerned for you. Even the demons that talk to you up until this point don't really care about you. They're just willing to talk. That's the first demon that's actually caring towards you because you're more demonic than human at this point by proceeding through here. And the reason why he's concerned for you is because he overheard that noble voice from the end of our first visit telling us to go away because we'll lose our humanity if we do. But this dungeon, firstly, that ladder right in front of us, that ladder that goes up, that's your only way back up because it's all holes and ladders. Or snake. It's literally, think of it as snakes and ladders, but as a maze. Your main way of going through here is jumping down holes you can't get back up, or finding ladders to take you the paths that are the only way to them. But that's not the only thing. If you do decide to go up this ladder and follow it back round to the main path, you'll be very quickly introduced to the idea of one-way doors. This was something that was introduced us in the Amala network, but now is going to take full stride here. There are many points in this floor where there are one-way doors, where you'll go through them and you'll realise there isn't a door behind you anymore. You have to go around if you want to get back there. And it's not too bad. The main reason why they do it is because there's a bunch of rooms that you can only get to by dropping into them. Like, you have to find the right hole to drop into. Like, you see, you come here, we're back where that concerned demon is, and you can see on the map, the door marker's only on one side of the door. It's not there. But that is your way out. If you drop down here and then like 2 seconds later go, oh god, I didn't want to be here yet, push straight for that ladder in front of you. The door that was now behind us to our right, to the south, that door is locked and requires a key. But when you get that key, you'll have access to getting to floor 3. It's the main thing you're going for. Similar to how you're trying to find that one switch to unlock all the doors in floor 1, you're trying to find that one key that unlocks all the doors on this floor. But down here, there's going to be 2 whole sets of civilizations. One that heavily sides with the angels, and one that heavily sides with the demons, bickering amongst themselves over which is the right path to go down. To give you a bit more of an understanding of the law and chaos route going on in the background. We believe in harmony with demons, but the Messiah Church won't accept that, and the conflict erupted. But they didn't realize our worst enemy was already among us. Yes, I too do play that goddamn game, like everyone else. And you feel I don't mind it, I just fucking hate the meme culture around it. I genuinely, Among Us is a fun game, I don't mind playing it. When it comes to PS4, because I think it's PS4, not like PS5 exclusive, I'll definitely pick it up on this and like maybe do a live stream or 2 just fucking around with it. So I just don't like the meme culture for it, I find it really annoying. And I get that's kind of the point, that's what they're going for. Like, a lot of the Among Us memes are deliberately intended to be annoying, but it doesn't mean I have to like them. But anyway, this first, like I say floors, but it's the second Kalpa. But this first floor of the second Kalpa, none of the enemies here are a threat. The enemies you fought before that are just a bit chunkier and drop a bit more experience. So they're actually really good grinding, because like 300 odd experience points for that fight, they're actually pretty decent grinding points if you want to get a few more level ups. Power courses through your body. Your vitality increased by 1! Yeah! I was like, when was the last time I got lucky with that and got a point increase? Like, the medical center? I can't remember the last time I actually got a point increase off of that. Ugh. But this first floor is perfectly fine. Second floor, however, not so good. The second floor introduces an enemy that is equipped with Mudun. Mudun is a dark instant kill spell with the highest chance of connecting. And I know I've told you what Mudun is 100 times, but this is the part where it matters. So you need to be wary of it. Also, go over here, pick up a Tetraja Rock, you know, the thing that makes you safe from instant kills for a turn. Hinting at you of what's to come. But I just can't stress enough, any enemy that has an instant kill spell on them casually, you need to at least be wary of, even if you're immune to that type. Like, say you have got a Magatama on that makes you immune to light. If a demon comes up to you with Harmeon or Mahameon, so it'll be like a group-wide light-based instant kill, you could still lose demons that change the course of battle. That hole there is one of 4 holes that circle this floor. This place will seem confusing on your first run. In fact, I'd say this floor will feel the most confusing of all the floors on your first run. But once you understand what's going on, it's really not that bad. On this top floor, there are 4 holes, almost like in corner points of a square. Like, imagine there's a square in the middle-ish of this floor. On each corner, there is a hole that will drop you down to a room with a one-way door. So in that room will either be a way to an alternate route or a treasure chest or someone to talk to. But when you go through the door, you end up back in the main room where the ladder up is. That will take you back to find another hole to drop down. Over here, they talk about this room. This cursed corridor. This cursed corridor, you're going to need to come back to much later on in the game after the 4th Kalpa, because in there is a hint that you need to trigger to get a flag so you can start working towards unlocking the 5th floor. Because once you unlock the 4th floor, every single fiend is dead. So they make it so you have to solve a puzzle to unlock the 5th. But there is an alternate reason for why you might have a vague interest to go there before you finish the 4th floor. If you can survive that corridor, and I'll explain the horrors that are in it in a second. If you can survive that corridor early and get through the entirety of it, and talk to the demon at the end, and then somehow survive your way back as well, 250,000 marker is yours. If you reach the end, the demon there will go, wow, I didn't think anyone would make it this far. Well, I made a bet with a friend that whoever made it, I would give 250,000 marker to. So here you go. I do go for it. Not yet, but I go for it. After we unlock the 3rd Kalpa, I go out of my way to go nab it. Well, I think I should say that. It's after we do the 3rd Kalpa, I do a bit more, and then there's a point where there's a shop that's selling Magatama, and they're all like 70,000, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go get the 250, because I'm a higher level at that point, and I'm pretty sure I can get away with it. Now, the reason why I'm stressing maybe don't do it right this second, unless you're really, really bold, is because that demonic corridor isn't a harmful floor, it's a harmful environment. So if you're not using, so even if you're using a float ball, you're gonna get harmed walking through it. It does 50% of your current health party-wide every single time it triggers, and it triggers every 3 steps. So every 3 steps, your entire current health is halved. So you need to have an absolute shit ton of healing items, or you need to have a lot of medics on standby with all of them having mana refill, just so you can just confidently and casually power heal your way through the whole thing. Secondly, either bring a lot of smoke balls or bring a couple repulse spells. Either way, you're gonna want to either get yourself out of encounters or not have them to begin with, because these demons levels are going to be hovering around level 70. They're going to be between 62 to like 78. These demons will fucking destroy you at this point in the game. If you can kill any of them in a single fight, which to be fair, I do. When I come back here, I'm a lot closer to that level range. So I say, you know what, fuck it. I'll fight one of them just to show you how difficult it can be, even when you're closer to that level. And I get like 1,500 experience off of it for just winning it, which is like enough to like push 2 of my demons like upper level, I think, at that point. But it's a hard fight, and I don't bother fighting anytime afterwards. Anytime after that, I just run away and drop a smoke ball because it's just not worth the hazard. You just get your ass kicked. But you're not, if you can do it right now, but if you're gonna try and do it right now because you want that 250,000 right this second, buy that demon off the 1st floor from the Shady Broker. Because that can at least, because he has a skill that will allow you to escape encounters, and I believe has a skill, I haven't got that demon, so you don't quote me on this, but I think it has mana refill or can get it. But the biggest thing is that it has the stoma. It has the ability to force itself out of encounters, because the stoma is a smoke ball as a skill. But anytime you drop down, this is where you end up when you come back up. So if you just proceed up, you'll be back where the 3 doors were, where the middle of the 3 doors take you down to the hell corridor. But I want you to make a mental note that that held corridor is there, even if you decide it's not worth it and don't go for the 250,000. If you're going for the TDE ending, there's True Demon ending. If you're going for TDE, you're gonna have to do it eventually. Just don't do it. Like, if you don't want to do it for the 250,000, you're gonna end up doing it twice if you go there before you finish the 4th Kalpa. And I'll show you the entire process of what you got to do to get the 5th Kalpa once we're there. Because that will be the thing. When we unlock the 4th Kalpa, once every single fiend is done and the 4th Kalpa is unlocked, we're not leaving the Labyrinth of Amala until it is completely done. Like, as in, we won't be advancing the plot and going through the main game any further until both 4th and 5th are done. And the reason being for this is that there's actually a plot check marker where if you go too far in the plot and you haven't beat the final floor of here yet, you will no longer be able to get the True Demon ending, because the game's at a point where it needs to know what ending you're going for to structure the last act of the plot around it. So if you haven't set that in stone by that point, then you won't. It will just pick the ending for you, and you'll be locked out even if you come back afterwards. That point is extremely generous, and I will point it out when we get to it, because it's not for a very long time. Like, to jump the gun without, like, spoiling the name of it, it's literally the door of the final dungeon. The very second you touch the door of the final dungeon, even if you then leave afterwards, it will lock in your ending. And even though that is well after the 5th Kalpa, like, will be available to us, I just, as a principle, want to get it done the moment it's available, and will be. It'll be a goddamn grind, especially the 5th Kalpa, because they do expect you to kind of do other stuff first, up between the 4th and 5th, and be a slightly higher level. But I want to push to do it as soon as. But that being said, in my recording, I've yet to get there. To be honest, I've actually kind of been slacking on the recording. Where I'm so much further ahead, I've been using the opportunity to just, enjoy how many releases are coming out this month. Because it's like, well, I'm so far ahead in the recording that I can just have a week or two without playing too much. Also, I'm still playing it a bit. I'm doing like an hour a day of just like little bits of recording, or maybe not recording, maybe there's a section coming up where it's like I want to be a slightly higher level for, so I grind a little bit, or there's a certain demon I want, so I've been fusing and like getting resources. Like, I've been doing little things that will all result in the progress at the end. I haven't been doing like 8 hours a day on it like I was when it came out near the end of May. Like, when it dropped, I was on it all day, every day, for like a week straight, and I'm not doing that anymore. I probably will when I get to the final stretch of the game, because like the final dungeon, the final dungeon's gargantuan. If you've played this game before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The final dungeon is hideously big, and so I'm gonna want to, regardless of how big it is, I kind of want to do that, if not in one session, in as few sessions as possible. I don't want to do just like a bit and then come away, then a bit and come away. Here's that locked door from the other side, by the way, so you can see where this shortcuts to. And it kind of also gives away where the correct path is, because as I said on the first floor, once you unlock the secret door of a floor, they designed a dungeon in a way that if you just beeline from the entrance to the next Kalpa, you can make it very quickly. And the same applies on this floor as well. So you go around here and pick up this mystic chest. That locked door, the reason why that one specifically is the one that is locked is because it's the closest to the one that will take us forward. Of the 4 middle holes, the bottom right one will put you on the path that is to go into the 3rd Kalpa. Like, it's the correct path to get out of here once we have the key. So it's literally, you drop down into here, take that first door, take the closest hole, take the closest door, you're out, and you're on the 3rd Kalpa. Like, that's what I mean. Like, instead of having to go all the way around, they shortcut it. So you literally just drop in that hole. You can even see it on the map already. You see that there's like a gap in the room that's going down from that room we're going to drop in. That goes like south. That would be the tunnel path that goes around. But there's another shady broker in one of these rooms. It's not this one, it's one of the other ones. But one of the 4 rooms has a second shady broker that will sell you another demon. This other demon, I don't know if it has, I can't remember if it's Medirahan or Salvation, but it has one of them. When you talk to the shady broker, he says, I can sell you a demon that can heal all injuries guaranteed. And so I can't remember if it's Medirahan or Salvation, because like I don't really buy demons from the shady brokers. Other thing to look forward though, because it's just popped up in my mind, if you see like a watery effect on the wall, it's fake. We can walk straight through it. And that's how you get a death stone here. So now we have 2 death stones. And the reason why I was glancing at that wall as we went past is because I know there's a door there, but I couldn't remember if it was one way or two way. It's one way, so it just looked like a wall to us. In this center corridor, though, there's both a shady surgeon and the girls on the drinking table. And as mentioned on the first floor, they're your only free ticket out and your free heal. Well, free's the wrong word. You spend money, I just mean as in you're not wasting resources free. I cut until I take the until I'm back up here because it was a long run to get all the way up and then around. But here's where the shady broker is. You're pretty strong. I'll sell you something special. Interested? Here's what I'm selling. A demon that can heal anything. You'll be glad to have one around. With that well-rounded bosom. But it's 30k. Like, the shady broker's demons are usually pricey, but one way or another, they're usually worth it. Oh, I was gonna say, like, I'm letting my vitality. I usually, on my usual playthroughs, I go full strength until my strength hits 30, and then full vitality until that's around 20, and then start alternating between more of that and magic. In the last door, though, where I said, well, here's the other key door. So once you get the key, that's your way. That path will exactly take you to where you need to go. So you're probably wondering, well, we've kind of been everywhere else. What have we got left to do here to even get that key? Well, there is a B3. There is a third floor. And it's going to look intimidating when we jump down into it from this main corridor room. But I assure you, it's not that bad. It's a maze, like a traditional maze, with very transparent walls. So it's very easy for you to go back on yourself and bump into something you would before. If you wall hug, which is the traditional, if you stick on the right wall, you will find where you need to go eventually, it will work. If you don't know what I'm talking about, in traditional mazes, there is a thing called wall hugging, where if you stick to either the left wall or your right wall for the entire duration of the maze, you will eventually go to every single possible section of said maze. It doesn't work consistently. If there's spacing of the wall, let's say there's a section where there's an extra wall in like a center block that isn't touching any other wall, then it will fall apart. But when you go to those mazes, you're usually warned that they're going to be like that because they're usually expert level. But this isn't an expert level maze. Every single wall is touching another wall. So if you just hug either the left or hug the right, your pathing will take you across every single other location one way or another. But there's two holes to drop in, because when you go from here, one hole will allow you access to two of the doors, and the other hole will eventually lead you to the other two. So you've just got to feel it out, and you're going to see me do just that. Like, I don't wall hug that much, because I kind of remember where I'm going. Like, I'm not 100% on it, but I vaguely recall where I'm going, because at the end of the day, this isn't a difficult maze. The only thing that's intimidating about it is the fact that it's very it's the transparent walls. So it can throw you off, it can make you doubt yourself. But once you get a feel for it, I assure you, this really is not a difficult maze. But in the north exit, way up here, there's always a ladder back up for you to get out afterwards. Oh, I don't stick around. Wow. I think I wonder why I didn't stick around, because there's two doors there. Huh. Okay, I think I'll tell you what they are. One of them is a key room, so we'll have to go back there anyway, but that only leads to treasure. And the other one is the grave room for this floor. Oh, here's a unique enemy. This is a very rare chance. So this enemy does not show up often. This motherfucker is immune to physical, so do not use it. You've got to magic kill him. But he's a very rare enemy, and if I do say so myself, one of my favorite designs. But yeah, if you try a second, he just blocks it. I love this thing's like robotic-like design. And I like the way it kind of crumbles every time you attack it. That is something that can complement old SMT games, whether it be the classics with the old artwork, or the Nocturne afterwards with these more 3D designs, or the contest designs that are in a lot of SMT 4 and 4 Apocalypse. The designs are always really cool. Like, it's rare for me to encounter a demon where I look at it and go, oh god, okay. I say this as someone who's very well aware that there's like close to 1,000 odd demons in SMT4, and not all of them are masterpieces, but all of them I thought were good. It's just some of them are clearly better than others. Because of the way they did like the contest designs and had like loads of different artists. Which, to be fair, makes me curious for SMT5 if they're gonna make it more traditional demons, or if they're gonna make 3D models for some of those artworked demons. Like if they're gonna try and go a bit more out there with some of them. And the only reason I say this is because in the original teaser for SMT5, the last thing they showed was Odin's SMT4 design in 3D. Because Odin gets a drastic redesign in SMT4. And he looks, to be fair, he looks really cool. I love Odin's newer design in SMT over his old. His old, in my opinion, kind of makes him blend into all the other, like, Norse gods that it's referencing. Like, any other Norse god that becomes a demon in SMT has a similar-esque design, where it's usually a man in a cape with a helmet, and it's just what color that man is, what color the cape is, and what color the helmet is. Like, obviously, I'm undercutting it a little bit. Like, there's a bit more to it than that. But it's how it always kind of feels with the way they handle that. Whilst in 4, all of them have very distinct and unique designs. I say that Loki got a redesign infamously in, I think it was either Digital Devil or Persona 3, where Loki got that redesign where he's just like the big black wing and like the tight leather and like the blue face and like the sharp hair sort of thing. Because that's probably my favourite design of Loki, because in Nocturne it's still another Norse god generic design. Let it continue? Sure, I'll take the risk. Change the skill, recalm the fire drain. We lost our free revival. And I was like, God fucking damn it. At least fire drain is really helpful for her because she's weak to fire. So now she's lost her only weakness. But you saw I was hesitating a bit more there. It wasn't just because of my bad luck on previous runs. It's because I don't want to lose mana refill. If I'd lost mana refill, I would have reset. Genuinely, I would have reset and recorded this whole dungeon again because mana refill is too significant. When you come over here, it will look like there's a dead end, and to be fair, it is. But you can see, like, there's another path just beyond this wall. When we get the key, that door on B2, like that bottom right door, that will lead us round to there, which then leads us down to out of here. But whilst we're continuing our mega maze-minding adventure here, yeah, I think it's about time we talk about some of those June releases. Those releases this month, that is, like, tormenting people because there's so many of them and in such a tiny gap. Oh no, there's the Graves door. So it's on the west side. So I can't remember what's on the north then. Maybe they're both key doors? Okay, that's the ladder back up. Huh. No idea then. No idea why I ignored the north bit. I can only hope I go back to them. I know one of them's a key door that you unlock. But the other one just must be a generic door with nothing interesting in it. But I find it odd that past me didn't at least show them. I didn't even look at them. I just ran straight down the corridor and left. But we're going down the east hall again. Does that make a point just before we go through the maze? I cut till... Oh, we level up along the way. But I'm going to start cutting at points to when I get back to other doors. Because you should be able to find your way around by now. But yes, those June releases. June 1st was Virtua Fighter 5, which I haven't had a chance to play yet because I'm not on PS Plus anymore. So I will probably just buy it outright at some point instead of trying to get PS Plus. But I do want to pick it up because it's nice to see Virtua Fighter come back. And hearing from the interviewers that, not the developers, that this is kind of going to determine the future of the series. I mean, yeah, I'm going to pick it up then because I want Virtua Fighter to continue. Even if it wasn't always my favourite, it's still a very strong franchise, which is the origin point for a lot of fighting game tech that you might not realise originated from Virtua Fighter. For a long while, especially in the early 2000s, anytime, well, I say it was more late 90s and early 2000s, but still, anytime there was a new mechanic that showed up in Tekken, I guarantee you 2 years before it was in Virtua Fighter. And Tekken just saw it and went, oh, okay, we can do that. And that's not me taking jabs at Tekken, it's just me telling you. See right there? Oh, come on now, that wall right there. Open your eyes and look. On the east side, there's another fake wall, which is what you'll need to do. Need to find if you're going to get that key. So there's Virtua Fighter. There's Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis. I don't own an Xbox Series X, so I can't pick it up. But I'm so happy that it's getting more attention as a series and is going on. As we now get that Moon Key. So I really hope that, like, I want to see more of it. I really want to see it kind of do well and put Phantasy Star Online kind of back on the map. Like, it's like the two big things from Sega. I want both of them to kind of be back on the map in big ways. Neptunia Reverse, which I got early, which I've been playing through. Which, to be fair, Neptunia Reverse, like, I haven't been playing too much of it because it's still a remaster of the first game. I just like the bells and whistles and cleanup they've added to it. As much as it's still a little of the whole remastering the game a third time because of Rebirth 1, Rebirth 1 Plus, and now this. Like, but I'm still happy it exists, and I'm still enjoying it, and I can just only hope that it keeps on holding enough attention to get us through. The reason why you want to go through this north door in the maze is because you get another Death Stone, so now you can get 3 of Fiends. Were they both moon doors? Okay, and here's another grave room. There's 2 grave rooms. So I was right. There is a tombstone room. There is a burial chamber. But the reason why these are blank is because they're for boss fights we've yet to actually fight. So when we come back to this later, you can fight them if you so choose. I was just getting muddled on my memory. It's still odd that I didn't even glance at them, because past me must have known present me wasn't gonna remember. I must have, past me must have known that I wasn't gonna remember, because that's just me in a nutshell. If I record a video and then do the editing for it, and the next day I forget half of what was in the video, well, I wasn't gonna remember that like a week or 2 after I recorded it. Anyway, Guilty Gear, which I didn't buy the deluxe edition, so I haven't had it since the 8th like some people. I bought the standard, but it unlocks in like a few hours after this recording. I know this will upload on the 11th, but it's the 10th as of recording, and it unlocks at 1 PM my time. When you're down here, this wall over here is how you get out slowly, but they added another girls round the table just there, so if you don't want to do the long trek all the way around, because you have to navigate, you have to go through here, up that, and then navigate all the way around to the right wall to find the next ladder to go up. Like, it's a long ass trek to get from here back up. So they just give you someone there as like even though, like I said, you lose a bit more money than it says, only treat it as a good thing that that's there. You spend like 2,000 or so marker, maybe around 5,000 if you get later on, and you just skip it. Also, I get 3 encounters like in a real short time span there. They really didn't want me to make it to this door. Do I get rid of something? I think I get rid of Toxic Cloud much later on, just because it's a worthless skill. Oh, Soma! Holy shit, thanks! Yeah, I literally went like, a Soma? A full HP and MP restoration to a single ally? My god, thanks, dude! Just like that, you have successfully finished the second Kalpa. So there's another peephole with another cutscene of more explanations. And then we'll talk more about releases.
I see that you are making steady progress in recovering the menorahs. By the way, did you not encounter a large number of souls in this realm? They are the imprints of humans in your former world who were purified by death. Even after drifting to the farthest reaches of Amala, they still cannot let go of the past. Many of them were involved with a man you've met. A man by the name of Hikawa. He is the one who led your world to destruction. You stand here as the result of his acts in the former world. I commend you for making it this far. I wish to tell you something that you, as a human, would not otherwise have learned. About his past, and what caused the conception. The Ring of Gaia's headquarters. This is where it all started. They were a group who absorbed all forms of doctrine, for they believed they could discover the truth from chaos. But even within that cult, he was regarded as a heretic. Yes, I am referring to the man who changed your destiny, and that of the world. He firmly believed that his ideal could not be found in reality, that it could only be brought about by his own hand. And ultimately, he reached beyond the scope of mankind and plotted the creation of the world. Fate is drawn to a strong will, it seems. As such, he uncovered a crucial method to make his plot a reality. This was the scripture of Miroku, buried deep within the ring's library. With the scripture in his possession, he reconstructed the spinning drum of Amala. By deciphering the symbols on the drum, he gained access to the Amala universe and learned of the conception, the fated destruction of the world. That incident at the park followed shortly thereafter. You see, for creation to be possible after the conception, certain preparations were necessary. Thus, the demons which he summoned were unleashed, and a bloody act of carnage ensued. This is a man who decided to take control of the inevitable, the death and rebirth of the world. Of course, there were those among the Gaians who opposed him, and the Messians tried to stop him as well. But he eliminated both threats at once with the power of his demons. With all opposition removed, he watched silently as the conception took place. It was just as foretold in the scripture of Miroku. No, just as he planned after unraveling its prophecy. The Assembly of Nihilo was also formed at that time to aid him in creation. That is what happened in Tokyo. The conception occurred as he planned, and now creation will follow. However, the future is not set. We have yet to see what will happen. Perhaps the world can even be freed from the perpetual cycle of creation. We have faith in you, and will continue to watch you.
You might have guessed already, but at the very start of the game, where they were talking about the killings at Yoyogi Park, that was absolutely Hikawa setting up this forced conception, this forced reset of the world, and demons got out early because of it. About that, I understand thy joy, I cannot suppress mine own. Another friend to drink mead with, I shall tell thee something interesting. If thou takest purple marker in succession, thine earning shall be even more. Try and strike if anything you can. I have amassed much wealth that way, ha ha ha. He's telling you punch shit on your way down, you might get more marker for your trouble during these mini games. But yeah, Hikawa is the origin point of it all, and he set it all up in Yoyogi Park. You know, that place that we kind of stopped at the door with, and you could have dropped off Pixie just as we left the medical center, but didn't because, you know, she becomes more worth it later. That is going to remain a consistent. Yoyogi Park is the origin point of a lot of things. We will be heading there later. It's like a real nice full circle effect, where Yoyogi Park's like the first place you pass by on its west gate, and every location we go to will eventually circle round to getting us to Yoyogi Park at the east gate. And so from there, the East Gate is unlocked and we'll be able to explore, finally, Yoyogi Park and find out what the origin point of the demonic life actually was. So I get beat the shit out of him, because I can't remember the pattern, so I just spam punch and hope for the best. And just get absolutely demolished. But, the moment you step onto the third Kalpa, if you pay attention and linger around, you'll notice that the music has an extra piece to it now. On the third Kalpa and on the fifth Kalpa, the music in the background gets more instruments to it and has more added to it. But you need to come here before you leave, because there's a cutscene that will now trigger, which will activate the next set of fiends for you to go find.
once human. The moment you stepped into this labyrinth, the wheel of fate began to spin. Time is a loop that repeats itself. However, we serve the fallen angel in order to rise above that fate. You wish for the same thing, do you not?
We know thou art on a quest to retrieve the menorahs. We, the four horsemen, possess what thou seekest. Thine they shall be, if thou canst triumph over us.
Demi-fiend, you have conquered a number of deaths to reach here. Whether it be you or one of us, it is our master's wish that one fiend survive this battle over the menorahs. And when his wish comes true, he shall make the decision to lead his army to the final battle. Do you have the resolve to face us, even if it may cost you what is left of your humanity? Very well. That is just the answer we were expecting. Then, show us the strength that our master stakes our fate on. We, the four horsemen of the apocalypse, shall meet you in the Vortex World.
Well, my June talk's going to have to wait for another video. Next time on SMT3, we're going to go try and save the leader of the mannequins. But until then, you guys take care now. Peace.